In this video, let's take a look at setting monuments out in the field, something that we call corner sets or corner moves. I'm going to open up the Traverses Manager here, and I'm going to add a new traverse just by clicking any blank line. And I'm going to call this Section 14 Corner Moves. We'll spell that right. And I'm going to select a format called Control 2D. So I'm not interested in instrument heights or target heights, but I am interested in field angles and horizontal distances. In fact, let's go ahead and change that format just real quickly, because I think instead of a slope distance and zenith, let's put a H for horizontal distance in there. We want backsight, foresight to be our sequence. And we can take a look at this later, but I think let's go ahead and set this up for geodetic distance and true bearing. It's okay that, and let's okay this. So here's our traverse. I'm going to just bring this down here a little bit. And we want to create some notes we can take out in the field for setting these corners. So let's start by looking at a list of points that I have in front of me. Let's say we want to occupy point 93. And these are all existing points. So I just type in the point number and press enter twice. The backside I want to use is 91. And now the point I want to stake out is 540, 420. Again, Traverse PC recalls that. And if I look now, I'm going to stake it out at a distance of 65.16 feet at an angle of 289, 53, 32. Now these are geodetic distances, so this is ground distance. This is really, the geodetic angle here is really just an angle between the backsight and the foresight. If those were grid coordinates or grid bearings, it would produce an angle. If they are geodetic bearings, it produces almost exactly the same angle. So we really don't make the distinction inside Traverse PC. Now, I've got an alternate for this, and that is 92. So I'm just going to repeat this. 93 is my point. My alternate 92 is an alternate backsight. And then 540, 420. So I've just created two ways to stake out that point. If you want, you can switch back to the single lines per point. And let's go down to the next point on our list here. Next we want to occupy 79. I want to backsight 78. And I'm just going to press Control F10 here. I think that makes it a backsight. Let's double check. Edit, point type, Shift F10, excuse me. And let's recall 78 as our backsight. And let's stake out 540, 440 from here. Again, let's recall 79. This time let's recall 80 as a possible backsight. Let's do our Shift F10 here. So 80. And let's recall our 540, 440. So I've just created stakeout for two of the corners, and I've specified the occupied point that I want to use and two alternate backsights. Looks like I need to come in and make this point of backsight here as well. There we go. I'm going to do something real quick here just to clean this up. I'm going to insert a gap point right here. Just creates a little separation after each set of occupied point, backsight, and foresight. I could do the same thing with a note as well. Just creates a little separation here for me. And now I want to talk to you about the fact that I've got coordinates turned on here because I'm going to send these points to my data collector. And some data collectors can take these grid coordinates and give me the same ground distance that I'm looking at here, this geodetic distance. If yours can, you can just send the coordinates and stake out from the data collector. And I want you, in the case of printing this out now, to be able to have the coordinates printed out here as a check. Some of you are not able to do that. In other words, your data collectors can't convert those grid coordinates into a ground distance, in which case you're just going to go out with the printed notes. We looked in an earlier video about how to send these coordinates to our data collector. So in this video, let's take a look at how to print them out. So once I've got my corner sets, and I can include any number of these that I want, I'm going to choose Tools, Print, and I have two options. One option is to print this, and I'm going to send this to a PDF driver just so we can view this right here on the screen. Traverse PC asks where to save it. Let's just go ahead and save that off. And then it creates a PDF file. So here's the PDF printout of that information I can take out to the field. And I've got two ways to stake out 540, 420, two ways to stake out 540, 440. Okay, so that's one way to look at it. A second way is to go to Tools, Print, and Append to Report View. With this command, Traverse PC sends the data to whatever the current report is. And now I can print this report out. So I can go print, it'll send it, or I can take a look at a print preview. This is what it'll look like in landscape. I could change it to portrait just as easily. And that's a second way for me to send my get my printout so I can take it out in the field. Okay, the last thing to mention to you here is that if I were to recompute a position for any one of these control points that I'm occupying, or backsights that I'm referencing, or foresights that I'm doing the corner move on, if I were to change any information about those, this traverse would update automatically. So I can really think of this in some ways like a corner move template. These are the corners I'm ultimately or eventually going to need to set. And this makes it real easy then for me to keep working on the survey, and when I'm finally ready, just print this out. Now this brings up another neat opportunity for you, in that instead of setting these corners, this can also become my corner search template. So I can establish these angles and distances here from the control points that I used in the field, and I can go back out now, and I've got a nice way to search for these corners and try to recover some evidence or some of the accessories here. I could just as easily, in addition to creating a foresight to the corner here, create a side shot also to any of the accessories. So from point 79, I could not only try to locate the corner 540, 440, but any of its accessories as well. So it could be a great way for me to go back out in the field and do some additional searching for those corners.